Yesterday we looked at a strong acid and strong base titration. Today we're going to take a look at a strong acid and a weak base titration. And then you can also apply this to a weak acid and strong base titration. So here we have a strong acid, just like we had yesterday, hydrochloric acid, with the same concentration and the same volume. Here I substituted in ammonia, which is a weak base. And so what we do is when we write it out, we'd end up with NH4Cl as our product. And then there is water. It's all water in water here, but when they neutralize, they would combine. One thing I wanted to point out was that we can actually write the net ionic equation for this. And if you remember the net ionic equation, strong acids dissociate and they split apart into their ions. And then weak acids or bases, they would stay together. So the strong acid, the important part would be the H plus. The chloride would actually be the spectator ion. So we'd end up with H plus NH3 yields, and then we would produce NH4 plus. Now, if you notice here, NH4 plus, the ammonium ion is the conjugate acid of NH3. And so we'll take a look at that there because that's also important. All right, so if we take a look here, we can actually go back and figure out when the equivalence point is, because this is a 1-to-1 mole ratio like we had looked at yesterday. So yesterday we had done the process where we took the molarity times the milliliters and we ended up with the millimoles, and we did not have to convert between milliliters to liters. So we just multiply the two numbers by each other and we'd end up with 1.00 millimoles equals this right here, because 0.1 times 10 is 1.00 millimoles. Now, since the mole ratio is 1-to-1, that means that at the equivalence point, the mole ratios should be equal and the moles should cancel out. So based on the mole ratio, since it's 1-to-1, we should have 1 millimole of the ammonia base that's needed. And it doesn't matter that it's a strong acid and a weak base. They will completely neutralize because of stoichiometry. Now, we want to find the molarity, the milliliters. So what we'll do is, like we did yesterday, the molarity equals the moles divided by the liters. So if we want the liters or the volume, then the volume's here. So these would switch up. So the volume would equal basically the moles divided by the molarity, or the millimoles divided by the molarity, and then that would be the milliliters. So let's take a look here. The milliliters, the volume. So we have 1.00 millimoles divided by, and I just happened to use the same molarity as yesterday, 0.50 moles per liter. And then if we take a look here, the moles will cancel out, the liters will flip up on top, and then we end up with just like yesterday. So 2.00 milliliters is the volume. So at the equivalence point, wherever that is, that would be 2.00 milliliters. All right, so now let's take a look. There's something slightly different here. So this will be important. So now that we've established that the volume needed is 2.00 milliliters, I'm going to put that in there. Now, if we take a look here with the stoichiometry, what's the limiting reactant? Both of them are equally used up. So minus 1.00 millimoles, minus 1.00 millimoles. And then what do we also make? Oh, we make the conjugate acid. So we also make 1.00 millimoles of NH4 plus. We end up with no HCl left over, no ammonia left over, but we do make 1.00 millimoles of NH4 plus. And so that's important because that determines the pH. Now, since this is the conjugate acid, and this is all we have, now we're going to write a separate equation. So we neutralized it first. Now we're going to find out the pH of the weak acid. So to figure out the pH of the weak acid, we need the concentration of NH4 plus. So if we find out the concentration, we have the moles or the millimoles, so 1.00 millimoles divided by, and then we need to take the total volume. So the acid, we started off with 10 milliliters. We had 2 milliliters of base. So total, this would be 12 milliliters of reaction volume. And that'll net us 0.083 molar, or 3 repeating, just so we can keep it in the calculator. And that's the concentration of NH4 plus. Now, yesterday with the strong acid or strong base that was left over, we could fully dissociate it. But since NH4 plus is a weak acid, we can't do that. We actually have to use an ice table. So I'm going to go ahead and do a little erasing here and then set up an ice table. So if we're going to set up an ice table, so we need to take the acid and we need to put it in water. So if we put it in water, we can either use water or not use water. So I won't use the water in this case. So if we dissociate it, we'll make NH3, which is the conjugate base, plus H plus. And this is a double arrow. Notice how here in the neutralization, there was a single arrow because they get neutralized and they don't go backward. Here there's a double arrow because we're dissociating in water. Now you could have added the water and then you could have reached hydronium here. So now we set up our ice table just like we had done before. And this is like what we had done in the past with the pH of a weak acid. We'll take 0.083 molar. We have none of those initially to account for this in terms of what's left over. And then we do our minus x, plus x, plus x. And then we do 0.083 minus x, and we have x, and we have x. And then now what we do is we do our Ka. So we don't have the Ka of NH4 plus, although you can kind of look it up on the internet. I did find in my textbook, and as well as yours, the Kb for NH3 is equal to 1.8 times 10 to the negative fifth. So from here, we can actually get the Ka for NH4 plus by using Ka times the Kb of the conjugate base equals Kw 1 times 10 to the negative 14th. And that's equal to about 5.56 times 10 to the negative 10th. So what we can do is you can go through the process of writing your Ka expression. So Ka equals the concentration of NH3 plus times, concentration of NH3 times H plus divided by the concentration of NH4 plus. So you would set 5.56 times 10 to the negative 10th, which is the Ka, equal to x squared over 0.083 minus x. Get rid of the x because of the 5% rule, and then solve for x. And that x would be important to us because that is the H plus concentration. And then you would get the pH. X would equal 6.79 times 10 to the negative 6 power. And that would be the molarity of H plus. And then from that, you can negative log that to get the pH. And the pH would equal 5.17. So at this point, with the strong acid and weak base, it depends on what the Ka and the Kb values were. At the equivalence point, we figured out was 2.00 milliliters. Then the pH at the equivalence point is actually 5.17. So that would be this point here. So this is the equivalence point where the reactants, the acid and the base, they completely neutralize each other. So this is the equivalence point. Okay, the next point that we're going to take a look at is a special point called the half equivalence point. We have 2.00 milliliters is the equivalence point. So the half equivalence point would be the volume required to halfway get there. So that would be half of 2 milliliters. So that would be 1 milliliter. So instead of 2, we're going to use 1 milliliter up here. And I'm going to go ahead and erase part of the board here. So now I've erased some points, but the other stuff is still here. So let's take a look here. Now we're going to go for the half equivalence point. So that was half of the equivalence point was 2 milliliters of volume. So I put 1.00 milliliters of volume. So if we take a look here, then now we have molarity times volume. So 0.5 times 1 is 0.050 millimoles. And what happens is then the limiting reactant is the ammonia. So we'd use up 0.050 millimoles. We'd also use 0.050 millimoles of the H plus, and we would make 0.050 millimoles of the NH4 plus. Sorry for the messiness here. All right, so then that means that we have all of the NH3 is still used up. We end up with H plus, and then we end up with all right, now in this case, what we have here is we have 0.050 millimoles of H plus, we have 0.050 millimoles of NH4 plus, and then we take a look here and we got to find the concentration here. So for HCl or H plus, the concentration would be 0.50 millimoles divided by the total volume, which is 11 milliliters. And that'll get us the H plus concentration from just this. Now we need to do the same thing here for the NH4 plus. So that would be also 0.050 millimoles divided by the total volume, which is 11 milliliters. So 0.50 divided by 11 gets us 0.04545 molar. And then this is also 0.04545 molar, because that's 0.5 divided by 11 milliliters. So you do the same thing like you would here. We found the concentration H plus from the H plus from this, and that's H plus here. Then we also need the H plus from over here. So we'll just plug and chug 0.04545, which was the concentration of NH4 plus that we had from over there. And then we plug them all into these spots here, 4545, 0.04545, and then we solve for x. And we get 5.03 times 10 to the negative 6 molar for this x. And then in order to get the pH, we would add 0.04545 plus 0.0000503, or 5.03 times 10 to the negative 6, to get the total hydrogen ion concentration. So let's go ahead and do that. And you will find that actually this X plus, this H plus from the weak acid is pretty close to being negligible when you add it to the magnitude of this H plus. So let's just negative log the concentration of this, but realistically, you should know that we're adding some of this from here to this H plus here to get the pH. So we're going to negative log 0.0454597, and we'll negative log that and then get the pH. So I negative log that, and then the pH is equal to 1.34. So the pH here is 1.34, whereas the pH here was 5.17. And I won't go ahead and show you the rest of them, but you can go ahead and practice each of those as you go along, and then you'll find the rest of the pH along these.